Hi, welcome to Gluten-Free Meal Prep and Planning. Today we're going to make a cheeseburger frittata. It is pretty quick, pretty easy to make. Easy for a weeknight meal if you don't have a lot going on. Prep time's about 6 minutes, cooking time's about 24 minutes. So that it would allow you to do a couple other things while it's in the oven baking. Okay, so we have 8 large eggs in our bowl. And then we're going to add half a cup of almond milk. A quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. Quarter teaspoon onion powder. Quarter teaspoon of pepper. And a quarter teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. That is my salt of choice. And we're going to whisk that together and set aside. Now we're heating 1 tablespoon of olive oil in an oven-safe pan. I use cast iron, so then that way it's a one-pot ordeal. You can cook everything in this, and then you stick it in the oven to bake. Being able to do that, I use the 93% lean ground beef, so then that way there's no oil to have to strain out before adding all your other ingredients, because you don't want to lose any of your onion or anything else that we are going to be adding in. So we'll throw that in and let that brown up. While the meat is browning, we have half a cup of chopped onions and then half a cup of chopped tomato, but with the seeds removed. So you want to remove the juicy part of the tomato, so then your frittata does not get soggy. This will keep it so you still have your tomato, but not all the juices that come along with it. Now that the meat is pretty much brown, we're going to add in our half a cup of onion. And then another quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, quarter teaspoon of onion powder, salt and pepper. And then you're going to stir that up and cook it until the onion is translucent. Now that the onion is translucent and the meat is cooked, we're going to remove it from the heat, and we're going to add our egg mixture, tomatoes, and cheese. So the egg mixture's in. Then we'll add the tomatoes first so they don't get burnt while they're in the oven. And then it's about 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese or cheese of your choice. And you could always add extra things like bacon if you wanted to. And now we're all set to throw this in the oven at 425 for about 12 to 15 minutes until it is set in the center. And then when we're done, we'll remove it, let it cool for 5 minutes, and then remove it from the skillet and cut into 8 equal pieces. I did have to cook it for a couple extra minutes. I went, might have went a little heavy on the cheese because I was being fancy and didn't actually measure out a cup. So the center is set, so we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes before taking it out of the pan. All right, now we're ready to take it out of the pan. I find it easier to just cut it in the pan and serve it out that way. But that is what it looks like. That is your cheeseburger frittata. If you make it, let me know. Let me know what you think. Again, you can add additional things to it, like jalapeno peppers, bacon, different kinds of cheese. You know, make it your own. I hope you enjoy it.